Hi everyone, welcome back to River and Rune. Thank you guys for joining me on the channel. I'm very excited to be here with you all on this very beautiful day. Apparently it is 11/11, so November 11th, and that for many of the people in the spiritual community seems to have some significance because of its relationship to the angelic number 1111 and the specific synchronicities that come along with it. So it seems to be a very special day. And it has been pretty special. Actually, it is extremely special. I was just recording for the channel just a few minutes ago when I opened up my little rune pouch and have discovered that pieces of my runes have sadly been smashed. They have broken themselves in some transit somehow. I have no idea. But what I will say is that there is an important message, as this seems to be perhaps the final message of this particular rune set. So I'll have to be in the process of creating a new rune set myself. So once that is created, I'll be happy to return to the channel. I may return to the channel, of course, in the interim to give you readings or to talk about some things here and there, or give you readings with an oracle decks or other avenues of divination that I have available to myself. But in the meantime, just know that I will be working on a new rune set that I can use and put this beautiful one that we've been using together for some time into retirement. But I want to talk about the ones that did break and the messages that they have, because I do think it has a very important significance for many of us at this time. So the first rune that has broken is Ansus, right? So Ansus, for those of you who have frequented my channel, know that Ansus has a lot to do with a message from the gods, or a message from one's higher self, or perhaps even a message about one's own intellectual capacities and your ability to utilize your intelligence to a specific end, right? Oftentimes it's considered Odin's rune, and Odin being the god of transformation, of transition, poetry, war, mischief, and wisdom, and all the wonderful things. To find his rune as one of the runes that has been broken, to me, is very indicative of many of us receiving messages or receiving information or receiving spiritual intuitions, or perhaps just emotional intuition. Doesn't necessarily have to have a spiritual bent to it, but any kind of intuitive understanding that you may have had recently that has shifted a lot of your life on its axis. So perhaps in the past week, or in the past, perhaps in the past week or in the past few weeks, many of you have experienced this, that there has been some news or some great change in your life. And it will bring about great movement. It will bring about a new beginning, a new cycle, perhaps a new era in your life. And it has a lot to do with the other runes that have found themselves being broken as well. So we'll talk about that in a second. The next rune that was broken was Wunyo. So Wunyo is the rune of joy, of abundance, of wealth, of spiritual connection to one's higher self, and what joy represents, right? Joy is the understanding of the human condition such that we allow ourselves to be present with not only who we are, but where we are, what we consume, what we eat, what we drink, what we live with. Like, there is a deeper connection between ourselves and our experience of the world, and melding all of these different things together to create this very powerful connection with ourself and our higher self, which usually brings about joy, the thing that kind of, it's like butterflies in your stomach, yeah? And the other rune that has found itself chipped and broken is Tirwas. Now Tirwas, as you guys know, for those of you who do check out the channel often, is the rune of victory, right? I do feel like it has a very, for those who do the tarot, it connects very deeply to the Justice card, to the Chariot to a certain degree, and also has some connection to the Six of Wands, right? So a lot of this energy of victory, of movement forward, of what's the word? There's a beautiful word for it. Of overcoming our difficulties, right? Overcoming the things that may have overshadowed us for quite some time. So to find these three runes broken in my rune pouch, to me represents that many of us are going through this powerful time of transition, a period of great transformation in which we have been encountering a lot of difficulty. Perhaps many of us have been encountering certain elements in our lives that are difficult to overcome, or we've run into some obstacles, or there's some part of ourselves that we have become aware of that we weren't aware of before, that may have shocked us or turned our perspective on its head, right? But all of this is to say that these intuitions, these deep energies, these deep changes, this news that we may have received. For example, I know for myself, I've learned recently about connecting to the heart chakra, connecting to the energies of fulfilling one's desires, of joy, of what that really means, of what it means to love yourself to the extent that a mother would, that they wouldn't trade you for the world, right? And so you shouldn't trade yourself for anything less or anything more, because you are priceless, beautiful, priceless, and provide such a great light in this world, right? And your mother in that way would care for you always, right? Or the mother of the world. The mothers that we have spiritually, because I know sometimes for many of us, the mothers that we have physically, in the physical world, are not always prepared, or perhaps have a difficult time in the process of loving themselves and loving others. Because we're all human, right? We're all human and we all work through these things. But in the sense of the archetype of the mother, the archetype of cosmic motherhood, of the feminine energy, loving ourselves as this archetype would love us, right? The eternal, unending well of self-love, of joy. So all of this, for me, is very representative of these great changes that we have received, this news, this news that we have received, this intuition, this message from the gods that is saying, hey, there's something wrong here. There's something about your life, these cycles, these particular ideologies that you have around joy, around victory, around what that means for you, what it means to be joyful, the ways in which we've prevented ourselves from acknowledging our joy, or even being willing to embrace it and bring it into our lives, right? We're receiving this message now. We've received it. It has come crash landing into our lives and has created this rupture. It almost feels like in the old mythology, of Nordic mythology, at the end of days, it's which is known as Ragnarok. It is the time when the gods are like the gods, everything's gone, whoosh, up in flames, like the whole world is transforming. But of course, at the end of Ragnarok is a new era, and the new gods show and bring themselves forth, right? So it's a reference from an archetypical perspective of the shifting of seasons, of the ways in which we have to let go of our old paradigms, our old modalities of existence, so that we can awaken to something new. And perhaps that may bring us, the words that I'm getting is that it may bring us to our knees. It's not always easy, right? I'm sure some of us may have received news about a partnership that isn't going the way that we thought it was, or we received news about the ways in which we handle our own emotional life, and how we have been allowing ourselves to consistently reiterate the same toxic patterning, right? Whatever it is, this message has come, and it has said it's time to change. And now there's no going back. That's the feeling that I get, especially with the runes having shattered. There is no going back. There's no going back to these old patterns. There's no going back to these old friendships. There's no going back to these old modalities of being that no longer service your highest good and potential. Because you're worth it, yeah? You're worth it, and you're beautiful. And you are an amazing person, whoever you are who's listening. And you deserve good things. We all do. And I certainly believe that. I certainly believe that we all deserve good things, and we all deserve to live the lives that make us most joyous, so long as they don't harm others. So long as they don't harm others in a very terrible sense. Because, you know, we will stumble, we will hurt people here and there, but as long as we don't cause severe damage in the sense of like ending someone's life or in something like that. But in any case, the idea is that we deserve good things. We deserve beautiful experiences. We deserve joy. We deserve these things that provide us a wealth of self-love that then overflows from our own cup and then flows to the people around us without pulling from the original store that we have inside of us, right? So that message of self-love has come really, really deeply, and it almost feels like a great earthquake that has run through the land. So very powerful tremors, very powerful changes and transitions for many of us. So please be gentle with yourself in the process, because as you know, it's not easy being human. It's not easy living this life, but it is beautiful. And it does have a lot to offer, and there is a lot that we can enjoy, so long as we are willing to embrace that joy, so long as we're willing to open the door to it, to knock on the door and to say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm willing. Because that's all you really need to be, it's just willing. And the universe will take care of the rest. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very powerful reading. And this very surprise reading on this 11/11 beautiful November 11th day, the gateway portal that a lot of spiritualists and the spiritual community have been talking about. And for those of you who don't know, it's more about the synchronicities and the relevance of 11/11 as an angelic number, as a particular has a particular numerological significance that connects to connectivity, movement forward, soulmate partnerships, all kinds of fun stuff. So it's a powerful day for many people, and it seems to be a powerful day for the rest of us. So do take this week ahead, and perhaps even the rest of November, depending on how this energy flows for you. Take this time to be gentle, to follow the small voice of the source within you, the small river that holds your rune, that holds your secret, that holds that hidden message that dwells in the whispering water, right? So take that moment, be present with yourself during this very transformative time. And as I had said earlier in the video, I will be taking time to recreate my runes, to give these runes that have served me so well the rest that they are due, and to bury the dead, to bury the things that we no longer need to carry. So thank you guys for joining me on the channel this week. It has been a very powerful reading. I'm very excited. Please comment below on what you guys feel this week, if you have received any very interesting messages or intuitions that have changed your perspective. And of course, if you like the video, please like and subscribe and click that notification bell and select it to all, because otherwise I heard that according to the algorithm, if that's not selected, then you may not get all the videos. So please do that if you feel inclined. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Good luck with everything, and know that everything you need is inside of you. So I'll see you guys later, all right? Have a great day.